Just to show that you don't have to have won 8 out of 9 primaries in a row to generate this kind of interest that you can get this. Back in the early part of Bernie Sanders' run back last year, we had this little incident happen. Not a lot of people remember this, but this was a big deal back then. This is back in September, where Reddit upvoted an article in Utah, in a local Utah paper that just spoke about Bernie Sanders being ahead in Utah in the Democratic primary. And back then, this was big. Like back then, Bernie was at most 15% nationally, and having an actual news story positive about Bernie Sanders at this point was just amazing. So their servers completely crashed from putting this one article up. They actually thought that they were under a DDoS, or denial of service attack, because they had never ever had this much traffic before. And when you go down into the comments, you can actually see a couple of people saying it's called the Reddit hawk. Sorry. You're welcome. Write more on Bernie, get more traffic. And so this is also a way of showcasing to other outlets. And as you can see now, the media is no longer trying to ignore Bernie because they want the ad revenue of people clicking. So, but they're still not doing positive stories on him because they figure that they earn enough off of people being clickbaited into reading a negative article about Bernie. So that's why we advise, at least when it's Fox, CNN, MSNBC, and ABC News, don't click it. Complete and utter boycott. You give your clicks to HuffPost, you give your clicks to The Hill. The Hill is actually one of the few papers that has argued in journalistic articles, not opinion pieces, both for and against Bernie, and has been relatively fair. Yes, there's also been unfair attacks, but there has also been ignorant defenses. So find these places where they're not just preaching to the choir, but where they're actually trying to do some journalism. The Washington Post, until their editorial board went completely hatchet job on Bernie Sanders, those guys, I used to also click their articles, but again, I'm leaving off, and I can get a lot of constructive, good reported journalism simply from following places like Alternate, following the Young Turks. They may pander and they may go over the board in talking about how idiotic the other side is, but they are usually correct when it comes to the factual things that they bring forth as news. So find your news elsewhere. Don't give them as much as a click.
Yeah, we're definitely. I know I agree with what you're saying, and I noticed recently that I've been seeing more articles that will have a positive Bernie headline, and the first paragraph or few will be positive about Bernie. But if you look at the conclusion paragraph, they're like, but you know, and then they put in all the stuff that they really wanted to say. Or, and I mean, depending on how long the piece is, it can be more than just a paragraph, but about the negative side of the argument and shut down their argument. So essentially, yes, both getting people to click on it and read it, and then not only that, but also share it, because they're aware that people usually go headline, maybe first paragraph, maybe a few paragraphs, and then occasionally people read the last paragraph. But so if they bury whatever they were actually trying to do in there, they can spread out. They can spread the message that they're trying to spread and get both sides to end up spreading the same article.
Yeah.
Without actually making fair cases from really either side.